an age when cars are steadily losing any distinctive design features to separate them one from the other, one car at least, even from a distance, remains identifiable. It's red, it's sleek, it's Italian, it's a Ferrari. Ferrari is celebrating their 50th anniversary in 1997, and although that makes the firm a fairly youthful competitor in the motor industry, Ferrari have remained throughout that time totally faithful to the original ideas and concepts of the founder to create exclusive, high-performance sports machines for discerning drivers. Enzo Ferrari started building cars in 1947 and was immediately successful with sports and racing cars in motorsport, to such an extent, of course, that his cars became immediately in demand with serious enthusiast drivers. Ferrari is the only manufacturer to have contested every single year of the World Championship for drivers since its inception in 1950. And for the whole of that period of time, in other words, 50 years since they first started building cars, they've been building cars like this one, which is why, in fact, they've become an icon. Now, whether Ferraris are great or average or just indifferent has got to a point historically where it just doesn't matter. If it's a Ferrari, people want it. The prancing horse has always been the Ferrari symbol, recognised the world over. Behind the badge, there is always something special. In this case, the F355 Spider. Beneath this engine plumbing, there lies a mid-mounted quad-cam V8 of 3.5 litres capacity. There's lots of those around, but not a lot of them produce 375 horsepower. In a car which weighs just over a tonne, that produces tremendous on-road performance, which almost all the time is unusable on public roads. The engine is driven through a 6-speed gearbox with an old-fashioned gate shift, which in fact is a little difficult to use, but Ferrari aficionados wouldn't have it any other way. The steering wheel, of course, is all leather and made by another Italian company, Momo. For a sports car, there is a surprising amount of space in the boot, occasioned primarily by the depth. But you can go touring in a Ferrari and take your luggage with you. In fact, touring is about what you should always be doing in a Ferrari. As a city car, it is irritable and flighty and difficult to drive, like a high-spirited young colt. But on country roads where it can lope along, it is a gem. But still, not so easy to drive. In typical Italian tradition, this is a macho car with a very masculine feel, harsh, uncompromising. By way of explanation, remember the Honda NSX story a couple of months back, where I said one of the car's strong points was its ease of operation, its silkiness. Not so the Ferrari. And in that lies much of its appeal. That and what it looks like. The F355 was designed by the famed Italian studio Pininfarina. It may be one of the most beautiful cars in the world, but it has always been. In any decade, regardless of what was currently voguish, Ferrari stepped aside from fashion and created at least one masterpiece. If you want to own an F355 Ferrari, you'll need to think in terms of around $300,000. But remember, always, you're not buying so much a car as an image, the motoring icon of the second half of the 20th century.